Hi, this is Mike Constantine. We're in a series that I call Marriage Killers, where we're going to be talking about four different things that we as husbands and wives can do that are destructive to our marriages. And please, if you didn't see the last one, remember this. Marriages don't die because of one fatal act like an affair. They often die because of a process that is happening in the relationship because of an attitude that exists in one or both of the partners in that marriage. Last week we talked about perfectionism, the attitude that conveys this idea: you, the person I'm married to, will never be able to make me happy. And eventually that creates hopelessness, and that can lead to the destruction of a marriage. The second one is the one we're going to be talking about today, and I call that the passive partner. And what that means is this. It means that either the husband or the wife decide that doing nothing is better than to try to do anything. There are reasons for that. If it's passive aggressive behavior, what the husband or wife is doing is this. They are using their passivity to get back at their husband or wife. So rather than shouting at them or screaming at them, they just stop cooperating or doing anything that would help their husband or wife. They stop. They say, "Okay, I'll do it," but then they don't. So that's kind of a passive aggressive behavior. But then there are other reasons for a husband or wife being passive. One man that we talked to years ago here in Malaysia said, my idea about marriage is this. If I just leave the thing alone, eventually it will become better. But think with me for a moment. Does that apply anywhere else in life? You might be able to find something that gets better by neglecting it, but usually when there's a problem in a relationship, we have to do something to try to make it better. His idea was that he didn't want to. Now that's misinformation. And I have a feeling that he was afraid of doing anything that might create additional intimacy in that marriage because he didn't know what to do with it. He was afraid of that kind of intimacy. And so he just kept to himself and stayed back. It was very frustrating for his wife. There's another kind of passivity that comes in when we don't know what to do to make it better. But there's an easy answer to that. All we have to do is look for some ideas, either from our husband or wife or maybe from some other sources, that would help us to know the small steps that we can take that could actually make it better. The important thing is that we don't convey the message that we don't care about the marriage by being passive. Now, if you'd like to know what passivity looks like, here's what it looks like. First of all, passive people make excuses, but they don't find solutions. And of course, that's always dangerous because they're always saying, well, I'm too busy, or there's too much going on, or I have too many other things to be concerned about. And it's true, they do. But they spend a lot of time doing all of those other things and no time whatsoever trying to help their marriage become better. So they're excuses, not solutions. Secondly, there's a lot of hurry, but not meaningful actions. And you see this in people. They're very passive about the relationship, but they're busy like crazy with everything else. They're like the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland who said, I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. That describes so many people. And you'd think that if they were so busy and so active, that they'd be that way in their marriage. They'd at least give some time or attention to it, but they don't. They neglect the marriage relationship and instead would stay busy with 1,000 other things. And that too is a form of passivity. The third is that passive people deal in generalities, not specifics. They talk in like, well, yeah, I know we have to do something. Yeah, we'll do something eventually. That's the passive language. Specific language says, I see the problem. I'm not quite sure what we can do to make this better, but let's see if we can find a solution. And that shows that you are engaged and that you really want to do something to make the marriage a better relationship, stronger together, is what we're talking about here. And then the fourth one is blame, but not responsiveness. Not all passive people do this, but some do. They always act as though it's the other person's problem. Now, if any of those or all of those are characteristic of you, I want to ask you a question today. Here's the question. If you knew that God could make you different, would you let him? You see, so much of our life is determined, our success in life is determined by what we will allow God to do. So keep that question in your mind until we see you next time. This is Mike Constantine, and this is 4 Minutes to a Better Marriage. Please take some time to go to our website, mikediane.com. You'll find a lot of resources there in several different forms that might be helpful to you and your family and to other people that you know. Use the QR code or the URL on this page. See you next time.